Hey, what's up, folks? Life with Brock here. Have a little work in progress here on the custom spot that I've been working on. As soon as some folks pop in here, I will let you know what's going on and then get to my business for tonight. What's up, IE Hunter? You are first player. What are you doing watching me on a Saturday night? Nightwalker, what's going on? In the East Coast, 9 o'clock over there. It's 6:11 here. Iron Boy, what's up? You guys working on anything interesting? IE Hunter's probably hunting. Did you find anything today? You probably went on a hunt. In the restroom, he says. Cascaroso chico. Let me bring up the chat on my iPad here. And then I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I just want to make sure that we got a good picture, and it looks like we do. Let me see if I can get it. I guess I can scroll. All right, let's see who's here. Gabriel. Hey, what's up, dude? R. Suzuki. Please tell me you're in Japan. That would be awesome. Is that too big of an assumption that you're from Japan? I'm gonna have to change the chat window. I can't see it this way. What's up, T-Man? T-Man's already seen this because I sent him a video earlier showing what's up. Let me get the surfboard out of the way. By the way, I was watching Dewdog the other day, and he had his lizard with the Blackheart tail, which is posable. I don't know if you guys know this. I've had this figure in the past. It's actually a pretty cool looking figure. It's pretty difficult to stand though. But talk about just the unbelievable job that Toy Biz did with the paint work. Look at the shading on that figure. Different hues of purple and blue. But the reason I ended up trading for this figure is for this tail. And I'll be able to pop off this tail and put it on the lizard and then just make a paint, give it a green paint. And this tail is posable, which is pretty cool. That's why I have that there. It just came in the mail today. Let me get this guy out of the way. In the event that you guys were wondering, that Iron Man's a work in progress. I ran out of paint, so I'm waiting for that mirror chrome paint to come in so I can finish that project. It was a fix. And then just a repaint. I fixed the arms. But we got about 23 folks in here. Let's get going on here. Let me make sure there aren't any questions on what I've just shown. Big Black Boy Gang, what's up? He says, did take you to paint all the parts? If you're referring to this, I'll talk about it in a second what I've done. Took me quite a while. And to Mes Noob and Rashawn, what's up, dude? This is just, man, this was actually a pretty big pain to do. I broke apart the figure, and eventually when I do the showcase video, tutorial video, you guys will be able to see it, whatever, 11-minute long video. I took that whole figure apart. It was the black, not the black, bullseye body, which is all black. And this white had a tough time, and you can see the black there, right there, where I gotta still do some spot painting. But I gave this so many layers after sanding all the things, and it was almost counterproductive starting with white. So if I had to do it again, I would put a base coat of probably gray, and then after the gray, I would go white because it would be not that big of a jump. And I think that's probably the better way to go anyway. Go gray and then go white. But let me show you what I've done with this figure so far. I did break it apart, and I magnetized it because, as you know, Spot or maybe you don't know, Spot is a character that is able to travel through portals. He should have actually been called Portal. And what he's able to do is essentially, let me put a head on here. He's able to come through portals like this. Let's say. So he's able to jump into portals and then pop out of whatever portal he wants. He doesn't have infinite portals, but he's able to do that. And he doesn't have any other superhuman abilities as far as I could, my comic book knowledge is not the greatest, but from the comics that I've read about Spot, he was just a regular human being. He's just able to get the upper hand on Spider-Man because spider senses don't really work when he's coming from this alternate dimension. But anyway, that's why I split him up and I magnetized them. I think if you're going to end up doing this figure, you really have to, you really should use magnets. These are tin. I had some tin snips, cut these shapes. Again, I'll cover all that in the tutorial video. Just a bunch of different tin shapes that I made. What else did I do with the body? I added toe articulation. I don't want to mess around with that too much because this piece kept on coming off. If you're interested in learning how to do toe articulation, I do have a couple videos on my channel. Nothing special about these arms. I do have an extra head, and as you can see, it's just a work in progress. This is where Spider-Man's actually punching him, and he's porting Spider-Man's punch back onto him. So if he was hitting him, it's coming back at him. I think it's a pretty cool effect. I gotta play around with it a little bit more. I probably should have used a stronger magnet in the face. I went with a smaller one rather than I went with a 3mm instead of the 6mm magnet. And I just had one bigger magnet right here. You can probably see it better back over here. But that's so far what I've done. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I did other than I just did a bunch of joint prep. Hopefully, I wish there was a white figure that I would have used, but I wanted to use this body with the butterfly hinge. What's up, Toy Thief? So painting this, it took me a few hours to break it apart and sand the joint, and then the painting process was kind of a pain in the butt because it wasn't covering, so it's taken me a few hours. And then I covered up the peg holes here. Didn't do that great of a job. I may just put a spot there. Hey, what's up, Jose? So Nightwalker, I went with the, this is the shocker head. And then I ended up going with, is that his name, Blizzard? I think his name's Blizzard. I used the Blizzard head because I do like the expression. And one of the things that I will be doing in this custom, I'm going to be homaging Glenn Webb's custom Spot. And my goal is to place the majority of these spots on the same part of the body. It's not the same body, obviously, but as close to Glenn Webb's Spot design I'm going to do, just to homage, his service to the community. I mean, even after his passing, his videos are still being used and helpful today. So I just printed off a copy. When I'm ready to start painting the spots, I will be doing that. And then that way, this figure is going to be almost as good as Glenn's. What's up, Special K? What's up, Chloe? I don't believe his name was Black Hole, unless Larry, maybe he was called Black Hole somewhere else. But as far as I know, he's called the Spot. I think a better name would have been Portal, because he's going through portals. But, I didn't name him. Thanks, MJ. How would I do a Sentry figure? I would pick somebody with a bigger body. And now you're gonna be you're gonna be painting yellow unless you're gonna go with the new Sentry which looks awesome, by the way, red and black. Maybe that's the way you would go. I would go with, I mean, Sentry's been done a couple times. Toy Biz did it, and then Marvel Legends did it, and they used the Hyperion body, but I don't really like that body. I'm trying to think of which one I would go with right now. I don't know. I may do I would maybe do a combination, and I was thinking, you know, another custom that I'd like to do would be a Sentry and actually a Hyperion. That black and gold looks good. So I would pick a bigger body. I'm focusing on Spot right now. Mark, I go back and forth. I'm also working on this figure right here. This is that old Toy Biz. Let me see if you get. So I repainted it. I started repainting it, and I ran out of this chrome paint. I got to work on here. I fixed these arm pegs were broken, so I fixed that. I have to come in here and repaint this face, and then I'll be done. This was just a toy fix. Unboxing Art gave me that broken figure, and I fixed it up. So, and I think it looks, right now, that color looks better than the original. I have black, not Black Racer. That's going to be, it's not the Unforgiven. What's his name? Oh gosh. I'm forgetting his name. But anyway, I'm working on that. I have to finish repainting Proxima over there. And I have to do my repaint of Juggernaut that I've been doing. I've been working on a Juggernaut figure for the last couple of years. So let me stop droning on and let me get to just finishing spot painting this white here. I'm going to be using this is literally the only white I have right now, so hopefully it's going to work well for the figure. I'm probably going to be covering it. So this is that's the primer, and now this will be the base layer. Now I guess I could go with this white, but we'll see how this one is different at all. This paint already comes pre-mixed. It's supposed to be for your airbrush, but I'm just going to be brushing it straight on. Thanks, Rafael. I appreciate it. Snap them together. I already did, T-Man. There you go, man. Boom. Hey, these things can't go fast, man. And that's one thing about the custom game. If you go fast, you will suffer the consequences, especially when you're painting. Matter of fact, I started getting a little bit annoyed with this white that it wasn't going through, and the paint started getting thick in places when I was spraying it on. I'm going to be using one of the brushes that Matt Stetson sent me. All right, let's go with the legs. You can see some of the black is still there. I never painted that, so let's take a look what this white looks like. It's not going to cover the whole thing right away. That's the thing with, you know, putting white on top of black. It's really difficult to paint. And not that I'm ever going to see the bottom of the figure, but I'll know it's there, and it'll bother me if I don't paint it. One thing for you folks that have never painted a figure before and you're thinking about doing it, make sure you start light coats, light even coats, and just let it dry in between, and that way it won't get clumpy. So I'm going to try to go the upper thighs first. Put this over here. I am going to modify the lizard bath. If you want to go check to see what I'm going to do, just go check out Dog's channel. And he went live the other day. Go check out one of his live streams. I can't remember. If he's still in the chat, maybe he can tell us what the name of the video is. But he shows his lizard. Giggity. The Build-A-Figure. And he modified it with Blackheart, which is why I have that Blackheart figure. Initially, I wasn't even going to keep the lizard bath. But after having it, I got it in a lot that I bought for a Venom figure, the Monster Venom. The more I looked at it, the more I liked it. So I'll definitely be doing things to it when I get to it. One of the things is changing out that tail, and no custom experience necessary. All you have to do is heat it and pop it in. It's like he says, it was almost made for it. Probably should have sanded more right here. You guys see that? That's just sculpt. I was just covering up the hole, and it was almost better to leave than the peg. I didn't do a very good job on the sculpting. I want to take a sculpting class. I want to go to the Christopher Serta sculpting school. Let me see, what are you guys saying here? Sorry if I'm missing your comments. If I keep on missing it, just keep putting in the chat and I'll eventually see it. T-Man just sent me a message and called me Brock Ross. Nice. Funny T-Man. Donato, what's up? My favorite Spider-Man, other than the standard, Amazing Spider-Man, I've been reading those comics for a really long time. Back when back in the '90s when McFarlane was drawing it. So I would say that he's my favorite Spider-Man. And second would be Superior Spider-Man, Doc Ock as Spider-Man. If you haven't read that series, it's really, really good. All right. So I think I did I don't know which leg I did. I think I was working on this leg. This leg actually looks wider, so it's got to be. By the way, one of the things that I did after I primered it, I put a gloss coat on it, and that's just to help preserve the paint from chipping. This is all acrylic paint, and it's the only paint I've ever used. And from all the research that I did when I first got into customizing, this type of plastic, especially, I'm talking about Marvel Legends because that's what I'm essentially customizing, does not respond well to enamel paint. It can sometimes melt the plastic. Again, I say that not with experience. I say that just from what other people said. Sometimes the paint will start getting dried on the tip of your brush, so you want to do is you want to clear it off so it doesn't come out in a glob onto the figure. So I'm just cleaning it, putting water. One of the things about acrylic paint It's that it's water soluble. By the way, if you think painting's hard, try painting while talking to people and painting behind a camera. It is not an easy thing to do. Especially, I'm not a very artistic person. This stuff is not easy for me. By the way, since it's not easy for me, that means if I can do it, guaranteed you can do it. Sort of is the Jedi Master. He's at the top of the customizing food chain. By the way, I don't take commissions. And trust me, you don't want a commission from me. The person you want a commission for is Chris Serta. But get ready to pay some top dollar. Loose Collector. Phoenix 5. Mike De La Paz. Some of my favorite customizers do not take commissions. Action Figure Toronto is one of my favorite customizers. And my favorite customizer is Craig Warwick. And he does not take commissions, so too bad for everybody. Good thing about acrylic paint is that it, the bad thing about acrylic paint is that it dries fast, but the good thing is that it dries fast. So you never want to paint on wet paint. So that's also why acrylic works so well, because right here I have a fan running on top, a ceiling fan, and this sucker is drying out quick. David Howell says that he swears too much when customizing, so it wouldn't be YouTube friendly. Well, never fear then. You can come to this channel because I'm about as family friendly as you get. Sometimes it goes PG-13, but to my wife's chagrin. So those of you that do customizing, I have a question for you, because I definitely want to bring out the muscle tone on this figure, but at the same time, I want to keep this crispy white. So I was thinking about doing a wash. There's a black wash, or maybe I could do a gray wash, a white gray wash. What do you recommend that I do with white? I haven't really worked too much with this color. Curtis wants me to do a Eternity custom. That would take me an eternity. But the size of that figure, I don't really care for the Celestials much. And it would have to be a humongous figure, bigger than anything that Toy Biz ever put out. Let's put it. Set it aside. Let's paint this guy now. Let's start with the neck. That's what you guys are. The Toy Thief says that he looked up custom Marvel Legends and I came out as the first result. That's good. That's awesome. You know, I'm definitely not the best, but I may be the one that has the most custom videos or custom related videos out on the internet. I could be wrong. I know Pounds does a lot of custom videos. There's another excellent customizer, and he does take commissions. So if you guys are interested in him, go check out Pounds 978. His focus is the Spider-Verse. I'm sure he can do other things, but that's what he likes doing. Let me see what you guys are saying here. It looks like you guys were already mentioning Pounds. Well, aside from any of the customs that I'm working on, the one I've been saying that I'm going to finish, but I never get to, is the Juggernaut. I just need to repaint him, or finish. I should say I just need to paint him. That's all I need to do with that figure. See the dry tip? Sirius Burko says, or asks, which ones do you like most? If you can answer me in Spanish, I thank you, because even though I am Brazilian, Portuguese is similar to Spanish. What do you mean, which ones, Sirius? De las figuras? Where might go? You're gonna have to come back around and ask me, Sirius, because I'm not, unless you said something before. Is there 42 people in here right now? That's crazy. I know most of you are young people. Oh, you must be churchgoers, because Sunday morning starts Saturday night. Yeah, when T-Man saying, when I go PG-13, do I say things like heck? Yeah, and son of a motherless goat. Oh, go ahead. T-Man's funny. What do you mean throw a little shadow in it, Curtis? I think that's what, the black wash, but I don't want to take the crispness of this white off either. That's me filling in with sculpt. I'm not very good at this. I need to learn how to blend that in better. Maybe it's patience that I just tried to go too fast when I was doing this part right here. Because I can't seem to get the closing up of those holes done well. Dewdog is saying that Pounds is the GOAT. I would say he is the best customizer that puts out regular videos on customizing on the internet, on YouTube. However, I think he would be the first guy to tell you that that he probably doesn't believe he is the best customizer, that he's the GOAT. I tell you what that guy can rap, and I'm not a fan of rap, but when he did his the remix to Figure Game, dug it, man. I want these musically talented dudes that like action figures like Dog to start putting out some music. Just don't copyright it, okay? So I can use it on my videos. All right, you see right here, I wanted to cover that, and I was bonehead. I painted over that part when it was wet, and I'm gonna see if you can tell. It's gonna be too hard to pick up with the light, but I streaked the paint, I almost pulled the paint off, and you don't want that. And of course, since I'm painting on white, it's hard to see where the paint is wet. J.K. Hunter making Spot. He's a guy with a that has porting power. And I'm just trying to cover the figure in white right now. Gotta be careful, that part's still drying. What's up, Nightshade? David Howell says 300 grit sandpaper. So you're talking about taking it to those parts that I sculpted. I do have. Actually, I think I have all the way to 1,000 grit, so I have it pretty fine. Yeah, I probably should have sanded more. You know, that stands out. I was just thinking I would put a black spot there and cheat a little bit. So MJ says, how about taking a fine Sharpie and go down the contour lines? That's an idea. I know that that's what they do on the people that build the model kits. And I have a Gundam marker that I could use for that. I don't know if I think I want it to blend though. I may test doing some dry brushing with the white gray mixed with this white, so it's not that huge of a color of a difference. Change in color, I mean. Okay, let me let that sit. Know where to put it. Let's put it like this. I just made that link visible, Southtown. So that mark right there at the wrist is where I had this guy when I was spray painting outside. So now I'm hoping, probably should sand that. I may have to come back and touch all these things up once I reconnect the figure. Coño. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sand that. I was gonna paint away from me, but I have to change it up because this thing wants to keep popping off. Now you may not be able to see with the light, but it is actually changing the shade of this white, making it a little bit brighter. If you're just hopping in, I'm working on Spot, and my goal is to homage Glenn Webb's Spot that he did, I think back in 2011. And I'll be adding at least I'm not even using the same figure that he did, but I'm gonna try to paint the black spots in the same spot that he did. I think that was a commissioned figure that he did. It wasn't even something he kept. So somebody has that figure. Somebody had commissioned it from him. I think it was Webb's something or other. So I'm going to be stopping here pretty soon. I think we're already almost at 40 minutes. I'm still looking for that left arm if somebody wants to trade it to me. If you have an extra left arm for Lizard. I don't know why anybody would have an extra left arm. Because it's Spider Noir. That's not a character that you would buy multiples of. Just thought I'd ask. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, 619. Saludo, chico. All right, let me get through this. Thanks, Cookster. Appreciate it. You see the Toy Thief. Oh, if I can make my own figure, I would make myself. That's actually the figure that got me into customizing. Because many, many moons ago, I met one of the writers of the X-Men at my place of work. I used to be a lifeguard when I was younger. And he was one of the patrons, and he actually put me in his book. So I have a character named after me. He appeared in an issue with Bishop. It was a one-off. No special powers. Just like a freedom fighter. And I've been working on him for quite a while. I shouldn't say I haven't worked on him for quite a while. I started working on him, like, I'm going to say 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago. Sean Dennis says, the perfect Sentry body would be the Omega red body. I think that would be too big, like too tall. like his Sentry. Like I want to use that body for. I don't know why they didn't do it, but I want to use it for Sabretooth and a Venom. Once Super Tom Customs gets his Venom head made, I will be buying that right quick. Need be too big. I need another one. That one's gonna be too big. I used to have pencils around here, but now I don't know that. I don't got jack. And I want to get some of those NECA head holders, but they're too expensive. I've been waiting to find either some used ones or waiting for eBay to have a sale, one of those 20% coupons. All right, let's go back for round 2 here. See how that area is still dark. Thanks, Jedi. Jedi Nut says, looking good so far. Cool. Special K says he's attempting an overdrive custom. Oh, really? For 10 bucks? Player, please drop the link in the description or in the chat. I have not seen him there, but that would be a good pickup for 10 bucks. 10 bucks shipped, I hope, right? Because Brockonomics has gotten away from me at the end of the year. Obviously, this is a pretty simple custom to make, just simply because it's just white and black. It's kind of hard to screw that up. But I think where this figure is going to excel or just be different is going to be these portals, and then all the different accessories that he's going to have. Because essentially I could have a little bit of a diorama here of him fighting Spider-Man. I haven't seen that white symbiote armor. Iron Man hasn't, you know, he's not one of my favorite characters from the comics. In the MCU, he's great, you know, played by a great actor. So I don't know much about all the Iron Man, you know, the suits of armor that he has. However, that Mezco exclusive, the yellow and gold suit looks pretty good. I think if Mezco puts out the red version, the regular version, whatever it is, I may have to pick one of those up. And that'll be the Iron Man in my collection. I don't need multiple Iron Man, like I need Spider-Man. Some people will collect everything Iron Man because that's they're huge fans of the character. More power to them, player. Okay, this should be the final coat that this guy gets. Unless I go back and I sand those areas down, and I may do that. But I'm going to wait until the paint is dried. And then I'll just spot paint. But definitely the hardest thing so far on this figure is that I should not have primered it in white. So if you're missing that, and you're going to paint over a dark color, you definitely do not want to primer white. Because you'll have the same issue that I'm having here, covering that dark color with white. I should have gone gray, and then I should have gone white. Oh, that's pretty cool. Kason, you're teaching me something new. I had no idea. Cool feature to have on a suit. Edson Gutierrez, you are welcome. Glad I could be of help. By the way, there's more than one way to do things. You know, I may be doing it one way. There was something I was recently talking to, I think it was Ace. And what was it? I can't remember, but he does it one way and I go and I do it a different way. I can't remember what it was. I know that like popping off the joints, I recently saw a customizer, he just heated it up and didn't use the push pin like I do. He actually just like tore it off. And if the plastic gets soft enough, you're good to go on that. Just a different way of doing it. Yeah, Jedi Knight caught that. Spot paint. Pun was intended, players. Only one of you caught it. Or only one of you thought it was funny. By the way, I started a Facebook page. I'm not sure if we're friends on Facebook. I guess you're not the people that I'm trying to reach on Facebook because you guys got me on here. But I started a Facebook page, and I think my Instagram is just about to hit 1,500 followers. That one is essentially I just do work in progress pictures on there. So if you're interested in seeing the aftermath of this, go check it out there because I will put up some photos once I take them. Paint's dried out. Jacob, what's up, dude? Paint is dried in here too. Toy Thief, what's magnetized? Both sections are magnetized. The waist from the bottom, and I'll show you in a second. It's just wet right now. And then the face. Where did I put the face? This face over here is magnetized. This paint's still drying. And this little guy's magnetized. So I've used, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets on this figure. I may put magnets at the bottom of the feet. I haven't decided yet. I have to really clean up these shoes. I had a tough time doing the toe articulation on this guy. So that's why it looks pretty crummy. But because there's going to be black on these shoes, there's going to be spots, I think that's where I'm going to be picking. Hopefully that's where Glenn put his spots too. I am working on a Nightwing, actually. I have that one already. The figure's pretty much kit bashed. I sculpted the emblem, the Nightwing emblem, and then I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with shoulders. I'm also doing a Red Hood. I started doing a Red Hood. I got a Superman going. I got a couple Captain Americas. I got a Bizarro. And then all of a sudden I just got inspired to do this because I watched one of Glenn's videos. I had thought about doing a spot in the past because I had a comic book. I have, it's a really cool color cover. It's like a yellow cover. And he's just working Spider-Man. And visually it's pretty cool. So I always had it in the back of my mind to do a spot. And then I ran into Glenn's video. Again, I had seen it before. I've watched just about all his custom videos. I've probably watched all of his custom videos. And I just decided, I had some time off, took a couple days off from work, and I go, you know what? I'm gonna make a spot. If you don't know what video I'm talking about, go just look up Glenn Webman. That's what he went with. Go to his channel, and this is what his spot looked like. And for those of you that are late in the chat, I am going to be homaging his spot by pretty much trying to put the spots on the same areas that he did on that figure. All right, so I think I'm done with this for now. Let me set this aside. I think this guy needs some more coats. But I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna sand some more. I did sand. I'm also thinking about using this blue stuff right here to create a mold of ears to put on these guys, but I haven't decided. I may just leave it as is. Next time I have to paint white on a figure, I will not be priming in white. I think that's been the biggest mistake. That's the biggest, I should call it a learning lesson. So learn from my experience there if you're gonna have to cover up a dark paint, don't do it with white. You can put on white after you've covered. I'm almost reaching the end here, guys. As soon as I get through all these figures, these parts right here, I will be ending the live stream, and then I'm going to be working off camera because it's not very comfortable painting behind the video camera. I think I'm just going to hold it. Actually, let's see if this works. Okay. So you see that paint imperfection right there? This is just a sponge, pretty much like a sponge for white walls. What are they called? Come on. When you put up walls, not the sheetrock, the dry. Thank you. My wife got it. Drywall. This is like a drywall sponge. It's probably like a 200 grit. So what I want to do is I just want to take out the indentation right there. I'm not sure if you're able to see it or not. Good boom. I do have a crossbones. That was one of my first customs that I ever made. If you want to see it, go check out my Instagram. It's the same name. You're going to have to go back a little bit because I put up those pictures a while back. The good thing about the primer I use, though, is that you can sand it once it dries. Hope this is not making you guys sick. If you don't have Instagram, I did on a live stream. I just don't remember which where it was, where I showed all the customs that I've done. Okay, so that's taking it down. Almost got it where I want it. So K-Tree says that I could use an X-Acto knife to take the indentation. That's a good idea. Actually, you know what I may do? I may actually take the X-Acto knife to this stuff right here. You guys can see it. I'm gonna try to. I'll probably do it off camera because I don't want to be messing around with an X-Acto knife in front of the camera because I've already cut myself on camera before. All right, so you see I was able to take that out just with a little bit of sanding. And I think I'm going to, in an hour, I'm going to cut it right now. I have a lot of finish work to do. I didn't realize how bad it was until I saw it underneath the lights up close like this. I wasn't really paying attention to it. So I'm going to go and clean this up. And I'm hoping to finish this figure by tomorrow so I can showcase the video. I already started doing the video. But thanks for hanging out, guys. And I guess I'll see you in the next live stream. If you haven't subbed to my channel and you're interested in custom work, go ahead and sub to my channel and hit that bell. And you'll be notified when I go live or when I put out new content. Other than that, see you. Oh, wait a second. I almost forgot the most important thing. Happy birthday, Marines.